Hi, welcome to the Listen Up Girl podcast, your daily LGBTQ plus news podcast. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman, and today's Friday, May 15th, 2026. I have 7 stories today, and we've got a big legislative news out of Pennsylvania, a historic moment in Africa, a transgender goalkeeper making his professional debut, and RuPaul sparking a debate, and so much more. Our first story is Pennsylvania House passes LGBTQ non-discrimination bill. So we're starting in Pennsylvania today with news that has been 22 years in the making. The Pennsylvania House passed a bill 2013 or 2103 this week by a vote of 101 to 100, making it unlawful under the state's Human Relations Act to deny someone housing, employment, or access to public accommodations based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. 22 years, one vote, and that's how close this was. And that's how long Pennsylvania's LGBTQ plus community has been fighting for this. Democrat State Representative Jessica Benham, who said has experienced discrimination firsthand as a queer woman, put it plainly. Today, at its core, it's about fairness. The right to exist as your full self without the fear that you'll lose your job or your apartment. The bill now heads the Republican-controlled Senate, where the path is significantly harder, but the Pennsylvania House just went on record saying LGBTQ plus people deserve legal protection from discrimination. That matters, and we will watch the Senate and bring you the updates as they come through. Next, Botswana formally erases a colonial-era sodomy law. Now a story that deserves way more global attention than it's getting today. Botswana in Africa has officially removed the remaining colonial-era provisions from its penal code that criminalize same-sex intimacy, more than 6 years after the country's courts first struck them down as unconstitutional. The old provisions had carried penalties up to 7 years in prison, and even after being ruled unconstitutional, the presence and written law sustained real stigma and fear, affecting people's access to healthcare, safety, and employment. Botswana's leading LGBTQ plus advocacy group, Legabaibo, said that change creates space for healing, inclusion, and continued progress towards full equality. And there's more to come. A same-sex couple are currently challenging Botswana's Marriage Act in high court, arguing it denies them the right to marry. The case resumes in July. We'll be watching Botswana and bring you more updates as those stories unfold. Next, trans man signs with Minnesota Aurora Soccer as first openly trans player. Now a sports story, and this one is genuinely uplifting. Minnesota Aurora FC, a pre-professional women's soccer team, has signed goalkeeper Isaac Ranson, making him the first openly transgender player in the club's history. Isaac is a trans man. He played for 5 seasons for Cal State Fullerton's women's team, setting program career records for saves, shutouts, and minutes played, and was named Big West Conference Goalkeeper of the Year twice. The Rainbow Times described Alex as being misgendered and dead-named during college games, saying every misgendered felt like a stab to the heart. But that support he found from teammates proved transformative. If the people around me can accept me and love me, I can finally accept myself, he said. I definitely feel safe to be myself in women's sports, Isaac told the Star Tribune. Although I don't identify as a woman, I still feel included. Aurora opens their regular seasons May 21st, and we are rooting for Isaac. Next, Sam Asghari launches HIV prevention campaign. Now for something a little different. Brittany's ex-husband Sam has partnered with telehealth company MISTR on a new HIV prevention campaign, wearing reportedly a very tiny speed. MISTR is a telehealth program connecting people to PrEP, the daily medication that prevents HIV transmission. The campaign is aimed at reaching men who have sex with men, and the fact that a high-profile, straight-presenting celebrity is fronting it matters. HIV prevention is everyone's issue, not just a gay one. We are weeks away from Pride Month, and if you're not on PrEP and want to be, MISTR is one place to access it quietly and affordably. You can check the show notes to find a link to MISTR. Next, RuPaul says party and dance and fans are divided. This sparked a real conversation this week. RuPaul gave an interview advising the LGBTQ plus community to respond to the current political climate by partying and dancing. And the reaction online was split right down the middle. Some people loved it, Joy is resistant. Queer culture has always survived through celebration, living fully, dancing, refusing to shrink. That's defiance. Other people were not having it. When federal government is naming our community as counterterrorism targets, when trans kids are losing health care, when marriage equality is under organized attack, telling people to party feels tone deaf. But reactions are real. This tension between joy and urgency, between celebration and activism, is one of the most honest conversations our community is having heading into Pride. No easy answers, but it's worth sitting with. Next, the EU promises conversion therapy ban next year, non-binding. I reported a little bit on this earlier this week, but the European Commission promised this week to issue a non-binding recommendation to member states to ban conversion therapy, but pushed what recommendation to next year rather than acting now. Non-binding next year. Conversion therapy causes documented harm, depression, anxiety, trauma, and elevated suicide rates, particularly in young people. A non-binding recommendation with a delay is not a ban. It's a promise to maybe suggest that countries think about a ban sometime in the future. For context, 23 U.S. states have enacted conversion therapy protection. The EU, with 27 member states and significant political alignment, still cannot get to binding. We will keep watching this and bring you updates as they come. And then Madonna, Shakira, and BTS head to the first ever FIFA World Cup final halftime show. So we are ending today with something that is pure joy because we deserve it. FIFA, the soccer, and Global Citizen announced Thursday afternoon that Madonna, Shakira, and BTS will co-line the very first halftime show at the World Cup final history, as set for July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The show is being curated by Coldplay's Chris Martin and is tied to a fundraising campaign at generating $100 million for the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, focused on expanding access to education and football for children around the world. Madonna at the World Cup in New Jersey this summer. Madonna is also releasing her new album, Confessions 2, the sequel to her iconic 2005 Confessions on the Dance Floor, on July 3rd, just weeks before the show. She already dropped the lead single, Bring Your Love, a duet with Sabrina Carpenter, which they debuted at Coachella last month. For this community, Madonna is not just a pop star, she is a queer icon who showed up for us during the AIDS crisis when most people looked away. Seeing her on the world's biggest stage this summer with her music feels meaningful in a way that goes beyond entertainment. Madonna called the upcoming performance deeply meaningful, saying that without education, children are denied opportunity before they have a chance. July 19th, MetLife Stadium, Madonna, Shakira, and BTS. Mark your calendars. I think I'm going to have to try to get tickets to go see a World Cup. And that's your news for Listen Up Girl for Friday, May 15th, 2026. 7 stories. It's been a full week, and we made it. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Share with someone you know that needs to stay informed. And I'll be back tomorrow with more LGBTQ plus news. Have a great weekend.